Once upon a time, deep down St. Louis, there was a guy called Ron and his wife named Susie. They later became stars in a Hollywood movie. So let me tell the story from the beginning about how we do it. Ron is an accountant and loves gold and silver. A printed cash and cryptocurrencies gave them a shiver. So he started streaming first base in bed he delivered. But he was slowly starting to smell something even iller. Susie showed Ron a newspaper article about a merit coin named after human particles. Ron asked what type of unicorn fart dust that is. He's still the article left a bright spark of interest. Curious how he is, he thought about a twist. Make it a meme coin to show how worthless it is. He called it USD, presented in his dreams and stay to shoot, don't fight. Please listen to me. Unicorn fart dust, 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 fart dust, unicorn fart dust, unicorn fart dust, unicorn fart dust.
Yo, Dusters! I just want to say, if you're feeling afraid right now, that's exactly what they want you to do. So do the opposite of what you're feeling, okay? It's just one pen of your mind. UFD is super strong. We have a super hardcore diamond, motherfucking core, platinum, steel. Nothing is gonna go wrong with UFD. It's just buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Everything is gonna be okay. This is just them trying to shake us up, but they're not going to succeed, okay? Horns up. Yo, Dusters! I just want to say, if you're feeling afraid,
great. Happy Sunday morning. Let's get me on full screen so we can look each other in the eye. We can point our horns at each other, right? Horns up. Remember, shine our horns. Is your horn tingling? We are the unicorn horniest community on the internet, and we are going through a horrific, historic cold spell, whatever you want to call it, in the cryptocurrency arena. We're going to look at some data later that shows us just what has happened and how massive this is, but also how UFD is showing resilience and showing strength. And we have a big warning from none other than Robert Kiyosaki, but he mentions crypto in there, and I think what he's saying could also bode well for our project. And of course, we'll do some big UFD updates, but first, thank you for being here. You are the most important part of this project, of this community. This is a community takeover from day one. I am no important than you are. This is your project, our project. That's one of several big things that makes this project so unique. Let's not lose sight of that, guys. We have been different from day one. All right. You know, I get people all the time. You should do what this project does. You should do what that KOL did. I'm like, wait a minute. What sets us apart is that we're different, but we're not different from one big key thing. And there's a reason why this is so important. What we're not different from are the original ethos, the original rails set out by the founding fathers of crypto. Bitcoin, right? We are more like Bitcoin than we are a meme coin. That's just my opinion. Don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make any financial decisions based upon anything that a guy in St. Louis who's a boomer almost and created a meme coin says. But I will share with you my truth, and I know that to be true. What I've learned over the last 10 months about crypto and about how and why crypto was set up, we are in alignment with those original ethos, and that gives us power. Our difference from most of the other meme coin projects is a big advantage. We also have what's called the underdog advantage, by the way. Everybody's rooting for us. Trust me, everybody is rooting for us. And I believe eventually when we show that we're here, that this community, all of us, not just me, this is you, okay? This is us, me, you, us together. When we show that this community has resilience and strength like no other, and a heart and a sense of belonging like no other, that we can go to places that maybe most of us can only imagine. It's okay for me to say, And I'll ask you how you feel about this. We have unlimited potential. I talk a lot about the early days of this project and the things that I learned, because it was a crash course. When I started this as an experiment down here in the basement on this December 16th, I thought I knew a little about crypto, but I really knew nothing, right? And one of the first things, of course, was the 999 million beans. But I also asked the top people in crypto who were reaching out to me. I said, as I understand this at this point, as I understand this unicorn fart dust phenomena that's appeared on the scene, like, we can be as big as any other meme coin. We can be as big as most any other crypto. They said, yes, Ron, there's absolutely nothing stopping unicorn fart dust from becoming that big. Now, it may not feel that way today when we sit at $13 million market cap, but when I witness dusters, and we're going to look at this, that are accumulating more and more beans, I'm not telling people what to do. What I will tell you to do, I will give you this piece of hard financial advice. Please be responsible no matter what you're doing. But I'm seeing more and more dusters stepping up and buying more and more coins. I'm going to buy some more here in the next 12 hours. 24 hours ago, I made a public announcement that in the next 36 hours, I would be buying beans. I've been scraping money together, right? Scraping it off the bottom. I tried to sell Jasper the cat, but Susie wouldn't let me. I think she'd rather sell me than Jasper the cat, but we'll talk about that another day. Anyhow, the duster community, I mean, if there's a silver lining to all this, pardon the pun, it might be that our community, our core community of believers, have been able to get more and more and more beans at a lower and lower price. And I'm hearing people talk about, and we're going to look at some data. I've got 2 million beans now. I've got 1 million. I've got 5, no matter what, maybe, no matter what people have, but people are accumulating more and more of the tokens. Eventually, guys, I got to do it, or I'll feel like Resilient Jack will fly over here from Sweden to get me. Eventually, as more and more of us get more and more beans, we fill up this jug close to the top, and we get to a situation that's called a bean shortage. And eventually, we could even get a beanopoly, where we basically control a vast majority of the outstanding beans. And if people buy real simple things, I'm going to tell you something right now. So my dad used to say to me when he got mad at me, and I'm not mad at you, but I'm going to tell you something right now. Buttercups dusters and diamond hoof dusters. It's so simple. Remember BHB, not BHP, the big mining company. No, B as in boy, H as in helicopter, B as in boy, BHB. It's real simple. It's not rocket science. We don't need a bunch of calculus, all, the stuff these people in crypto come out with. No. Jack Dorsey and Saylor said it the other day, right? What made Bitcoin successful was its simplicity, its deliberateness. It's easy to understand. Unicorn fart dust is pretty easy to understand. Okay, it's BHB. Buy, hold, build. Buy, hold, build. Buy, hold, build. And when I say build, of course, I mean build community. That puts more and more diamond hoof dusters in this jug. And eventually we get to a place called Valhalla, 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 Valhalla. You think I'm done? Valhalla. My brain shakes every time I do that now. Anyway, let's look at the insanity that went on in the crypto world. This is crazy, and there's something that we can look at with UFD that I think points us in the right direction. We have an article here from Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge is kind of an alternative news outlet that I think it has some of the best financial and world information available, kind of non-mainstream media. And here we go. Crypto carnage. The Trump tariff tape bomb triggers the largest liquidation event in history. But what I wanted to show you guys, and then they talk about Bitcoin. You guys, that's old news, but I don't know if you knew this or not. Look at this. For people still don't know how bad yesterday was. This was Friday. Here's a quick summary. And these are some of the big altcoins, right? Atom went from $4. What? all the way down to 1/10 of 1 cent. SUI went from $3.40 to a low of 56 cents. APT went from $5 to $75. SEI went from 28 cents to 7 cents. Link went from $22 down to $8, and ADA went, which is Cardano, I believe, went from 80 cents to 30 cents. The top 100 blue chips nuked 80% in a few minutes. Okay. Look on Chain noted in a post on X, quote, more than 1,000 wallets on Hyperliquid were completely wiped out in the market crash, losing everything. And my heart goes out to anybody that's in that situation. You know me, I'm not a big fan of leverage, especially, look, we're talking about cryptocurrencies, which are volatile. And this proved it out, right? If you have leverage, 10 times leverage, and something moves 10%, if my math is correct, you're going to get completely wiped out. In total, 6,300 plus wallets are in the red with a combined losses of over 1.23 billion. 205 wallets lost over $1 million. Again, our heart goes out to you. And 1,070 plus wallets lost over 100K. Excuse me. So we had some massive carnage in the crypto world. Of course, everybody knows about this Ukrainian, I believe he was, crypto influencer, big investor who decided, unfortunately, to take his own life. Guys, look, nothing is ever worth that. I'll say that one more time. And there's people, no matter how bad you feel, no matter how horrible life may feel, that love you, that care about you, and just going on and continuing on and moving forward, right? And being there for the people that really love you is more important than anything. So anybody out there who might really be suffering, reach out for some help. Know you're not alone, okay? And, you know, I know money, it's all unicorn fart dust in the end. And I don't say that in a joking way, right? It really is. It's all unicorn fart dust. And, you know, we're on this planet. It's a real miracle that we're here. And I'm getting off the rails a little bit, but, you know, let's be appreciative. There's always, no matter what, no matter how dark things may seem at times, there's always a kernel of gratitude, a kernel of hope that all of us can reach out for. So, yes, really crazy what went on. When I look at UFD, we went from a price of about 18 million market cap down to about, let's say, 12 million. Which, if my math is correct, is about a 30% haircut, which is big, which is significant, right? But we did not get hit as hard as a lot of the other cryptocurrencies and a lot of the other meme coins. We actually held up relatively well when compared to the overall crypto marketplace. I believe the reason why that's important for us to point out is what we've talked about before and what we just talked about. Don't worry, I won't get that crazy jug out anymore. My brain can't take any more shaking. But because we're growing and growing and growing with more people who are diamond-handed with our coins, it is real simple, right? If enough people buy, enough people hold, and we continue to build, we can get to a point where we become increasingly more insulated from what goes on in the overall crypto markets and what goes on in the overall general markets. And we're going to talk about a big warning from Robert Kiyosaki coming up next. But I would, more than speculate, I would, I'm proposing to you. You want to rub horns? Let's rub horns. None of my hair looks on top today. Yeah, anyway, I'm proposing that we're already to a certain degree, and I'm not going to overestimate, I'd say a small to moderate degree on that path right now. People who love this project, we can't make any more beans. We're like a new home development on an island. Okay, we're like a new city being built on an island. It's an island. It can't be made any bigger. So the more people that come in and buy land on our island, buying beans, buying tokens, and stay and don't sell their land on the island, right? The less affected we eventually can become from what goes on out there. And we have staked our claim on the blockchain. It is ours. It's one time, one horn, one unicorn. Can't ever be done again. So horns up, dusters. Okay, let's keep just plodding along, right? I know, right? Deliberate action day by day, and see what happens with this. I don't have a crystal ball, okay? You know that. I know that. But what I do know is that this community has more heart, more passion, more of a sense of togetherness, more depth, I believe, than any other community out there. And gosh darn it, what do they say? And what do we know? Not only do they say it, but I know it. And I can't think for you, but I would presume that a lot of you know it as well. At the end of the day, the most important thing is community when it comes to a cryptocurrency, period. It's what made Bitcoin what Bitcoin is today. That's what they say, right? It's simple and it's community. Buy, hold, build. Buy, hold, build. You ready to get scared? Okay, because we could. And I think it's a 50-50. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe even more than a 50-50 shot that we're going to have some real turbulence, some real volatility this coming week, in the coming weeks, not only in the crypto markets, but in the general markets as well. It feels like the administration, and not a political statement, in Washington is, let's say they like drama. Is that a way to say it? They're an extreme, kind of extreme actions and policies, and that is going to throw the market and continue to throw the market. But the problem is that the general market, so I'm talking about the bond market, which, by the way, nobody talks about the bond market. The bond market is way more powerful, way bigger than the stock market, has more of an impact. The bond market, in a lot of ways, determines what happens in the stock market. So I'm talking about the bond market, the general economy, and we can throw the entire crypto market in there as well. I think we're going to be in for some big volatility in the coming weeks and months. I could be wrong, right? Like I said, I'm thinking that's a little bit more than 50, maybe 58% chance that that's going to happen. But let's listen to what Robert Kiyosaki says. Robert Kiyosaki is a very wealthy man, and he's the author of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, world famous, and people listen to him. And he has some very, very strong words about what we could expect. Hold on here. Where'd it go? There it is. All right. Now I got it up. What did I miss? There's something else I got to pull up here. Okay. We'll come back to that. Here's Robert Kiyosaki. Reminder. I predicted the biggest crash in world history was coming in my book, Rich Dad's Prophecy. That crash will happen this year. Baby boom retirements, those are like people a little bit older than me, are going to be wiped out. Many boomers will be homeless or living with their kid in their kids' basements. Sad. Well, Mom, if you're watching, you're welcome. Could you imagine if my parents were living down here? Anyway, reminder. I've been warning anyone who would listen not to save printed assets, meaning US dollars. Invest in real assets. Reminder, for years I've been saying savers are losers. Inflation turns savers' cash into trash. Reminder, for years I've been saying to buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin, and recently Ethereum. Today, I believe silver and Ethereum are the best because they are stores of value, but more importantly, used in industry and prices are low. So what he's saying is, you may not know this, but we'll talk about Ethereum first. Bitcoin, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, said this, 4 or 5 months ago. He said that Bitcoin and the US dollar had essentially become meme coins. Okay. Bitcoin, and I don't want any Bitcoin people to get mad at me, but Bitcoin has become more of a quote unquote store of wealth crypto than one that is being used with a lot of utility. Now, I'm not a guru. That's just my observation. Whereas Ethereum is being used more. There's more utility for Ethereum. If I'm wrong on that, you can write me DMs and prove me wrong. Okay. But with silver, it's the same thing. Gold. Let me teach you something about precious metals. Precious metals have been valuable as a store of value for thousands of years. Long ago, I would say that gold, and in particular silver, were the original forms of cryptocurrency. Not putting crypto down when I would say that, but that gold and silver have been decentralized, democratized for thousands and thousands, literally, of years. Silver is very interesting because not only is it a monetary metal, a store of value metal. Let me. Which screen? The Robert Kiyosaki screen? Yeah, I know. I'm still talking about that. Thank you, though, Susie, for the input. Here, you guys want to look at me? I guess you want to see me. My boyish good looks. Haha. Okay. Gold's like Bitcoin. Gold's used in a very limited capacity. People say it's used in electron. Not really. Gold essentially is not used for much of anything at all. It's beautiful and it's a store of value. Okay. And it has been for thousands of years. It's owned by central banks, blah, blah, blah. Silver is beautiful. Silver is a monetary metal, but silver, like 70% of the world's silver that's produced every year, 70% or maybe more, or maybe it's 2/3, but anyway, more than half, a lot more than half, is actually used in industry. That cell phone you're watching this on right now has silver in it. Your refrigerator has silver in it. Your TV, silver is the most conductive metal of electricity. It's also one of the most highly thermal conductive metals, meaning it transfers temperature faster than anything else. Silver's antimicrobial. Silver's in solar panels, microchips, big batteries, especially the newest. There's a new type of battery technology that's going to be coming out for electric vehicles. Toyota is kind of leading the charge. It's called solid state batteries. They will be half the weight. They won't burn as much. They'll take 10 minutes to charge, and you'll get like a twice as long range with the electric vehicles. It's called solid state battery technology. Look it up for yourself. Supposedly, those are going to have, each car is going to have a kilogram of silver in it in those batteries. That's like 32 ounces of silver. Again, solar panels. Look, India and China are building solar farms. They're called solar panel farms that are like the size of Paris or the size of Manhattan. And China is doing the same thing. Every solar panel will have silver in it. There's varying amounts depending on the technology, blah, blah, whatever. But I always tell people, when you drive by on the highway and see a field full of solar panels, you don't have to look at those as solar panels. You can look at each one of those as a little silver bar, somewhere between, I don't know, 1/4 of an ounce, and I've heard up to an ounce, again, depending on the technology they're using in the particular panels. Anyhow, so Robert Kiyosaki is saying, get out of the dollar, get into real assets, and he's bringing up crypto, Ethereum, and he's bringing up silver. He says, please study the pros and cons and usefulness of silver and Ethereum from haters and lovers of silver and Ethereum, and then invest with your own financial wisdom, right? That's how you elevate your own financial intelligence and get richer. Take care. But the big takeaway from this also is the fact that he's predicting a massive crash. Let's hope he's not right, okay? But Robert Kiyosaki is a smart guy. He's been studying. He's one of those people, and I imagine you probably are as well. I know I am. I have for years, like not relying on the CNN, which I lovingly have referred to in the past as the children's news network, right? Or Fox News or MSNBC. I'm not making a political statement, but not relying on those to get a real read on what is really going on in the world economy. On a real simple level, right? You can look at the $38 trillion of debt the United States has and realize that that we are up a creek without a paddle. And we've got a presidential administration that is making radical moves right now. Radical moves in many different areas: trade wars, crypto, domestic issues in the United States. So, to think that, again, not a political statement. This is not a political show, but when you take a step back and look at what's going on, there's some very radical, that's the word of the day, actions being taken. And it's not out of the question that we couldn't hit a very, very rough patch in the future. So buckle up, buttercups. Things could get very interesting very quickly. Let's go back. I forgot to show this to you. One more piece of, this is the This is the conspiracy theory about what went on Friday. This comes from Wrecked Fencer, and he's got like 400 or 328,000 followers on X. He says the dump on Friday was not random. Again, I'm just providing you. I thought this was very interesting and kind of a conspiracy-ish theory about what happened, but it's worth looking at. A coordinated manipulation hit the whole market. OG Bitcoin whale opened billion-dollar shorts. U.S. government shut down. Trump announces 100% tariffs after market closure. Altcoins dump 80 to 95%. He says this was a calculated reset. Now, there's some good news here. Someone just made billions in a few minutes, and just like every time before, this type of dump ends with a violent V-shaped reversal and new highs, because that has happened many times in the past where we get these massive dumps, and not just in the crypto market, but in the general stock markets, even in the precious metals markets, and things wind up being all okay in the end. Okay, hey, wow, big news. I'm going to get in trouble with Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Guys, we have big news today, Sunday. I almost said April. October 12th, 2025 is the final day of our NFT auction that we are conducting that will support pediatric cancer. We are doing good. We are showing the world. We are showing the crypto world. We are showing the meme coin world that a meme coin community and meme coin communities, because we've got other communities joining in with us on this, can do some good, can make a real difference in the world. Let me run out and I'll show you where you can check that out. But again, this NFT auction ends today. There we go. We're going to go out. You can go out to my profile at Basement Ron. Yes, at Basement Ron. Looks like that. And I've got it pinned at the top right there. There's some basic info about the fundraiser that we're doing. So there's an NFT auction. And if you go down here to the yellow dot, there's a wallet, a specific multi-sig wallet that we set up where you can make direct donations. I believe that's in Solana. But let's look at the Little Duster Club one more time. And again, guys, you have till 4 p.m. Central today to make a bid. This is on Magic Eden. And as we patiently wait for this to come up, and I share the right screen. There we go. It's the Little Duster Club. You can see that. And there we go. This is looking better. Come on, bring us. We want to see our little dusters. Uh-oh. Having some tech issues here, guys. Let me see if I've got a... Here. We're going to go back to Magic Eden and see if we can get this to work. All right. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So in the upper left corner, you will see the Little Duster Club. These are artworks that were created by the children in our community. There's 25 of them in all. And there's the bottom ones. Hold on. Very difficult for me for some reason to see why. Anyway, here we haven't been. Here's the bottom. Here we go. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. There's the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 26 now altogether that you can bid on. They're all individual works of art made by children in the UFD community. Let's look at this one. Little Duster Isaac. See, that caught my eye. There we go. Oh, that is super cute. Wow, look at that, huh? You can buy that. It'll be yours. It'll be yours forever. It'll be part of the Unicorn Fart Does lore. And let's look at this one here. This is Little Duster Bots Jr. Look at that. That's a cute one. And we'll look at one more. What the heck, huh? That's what life's all about. Kids, happy, smile. Let's see here. Let's look at this one. This always cracks me up. I love it. This is called Little Duster Jam. Look at that. Super, super cute. So, and again, guys, this fundraiser is raising money for pediatric cancer. We have the NFT auction, and we have a separate donation wallet. It benefits an organization called Live Like a Unicorn, LIV, like a unicorn, which was started by a little girl who unfortunately has passed away. But when she was going through her pediatric cancer treatments, her parents would bring a box with her, have a box with different games. And anyway, she started it to because she said she wanted the other kids to have it as well. So enough of that. That's what it goes to help. And that's real, right? That's something that we're doing as a community that's real. If nothing else, right? I mean, I think now we're above $2,000 in total that we've raised. You know what? I don't know how many kids, maybe 20 or maybe 10 or maybe 40. I don't know. We'll be getting a box that will have fun stuff tailored to what they want for little kids that are in the hospital getting treated. So there we go. All right, let's look at some UFD data. Sorry, I get a little choked up sometimes. I'm a crier. Okay, I'm sorry. I've cried. I try not to cry when I'm on live streams because I don't cry all the time or anything, but I can cry. I get, choked up sometimes thinking about stuff like this. Let's go out here and look at, here we go. All right, we're still there, baby. CoinMum, our friends at CoinMum, yesterday, top 10 in the middle of a cruddy. And why is this important? I'll tell you why it's important. And hold on here. Now I'm all choked up. And I get choked up, I get mixed up. Now you're seeing the right screen. CoinMum puts out their top 10. We are number 2, okay? We win the silver medal yesterday from CoinMum. Look, guys, even in this really challenging market, the big opportunity here, right? This is, and it's extreme, right? Now we have an extreme opportunity is that when things get really crappy, right? That's where we can really, really grow in strength and showing people that we don't stop. And that's great evidence of it right there. We're ranked number 2 on CoinMum, right? We're still here. We aren't going to give up. We never give up. We keep fighting, and that makes a big, big difference, and it's a big, big honor to you and all the other dusters out there. I know it's hard. I know it's, hey, I understand. I get it. I know the feeling, I mean, but think back. When I think back on my life at other times, I mean, look, I'll tell you what, right here, right? Here's a piece of silver. I'm a silver and gold maxi. I still love silver and gold, really love silver. But I went through, I can tell you, I remember times coming down here. Silver went through a horrible bear market where it seemed like it would never get any better for a lot longer than I think we're going to have to deal with when it comes to crypto. But I remember coming down here at times and being like, oh my gosh, I got to talk about, silver again. And I love silver. I believe in it. But I know that feeling of just like wanting to give up. And I'll tell you what, the beautiful thing, this is a big, powerful, there's a big reason why this is powerful. The beautiful thing is, and this applies to Unicorn Fart Dust, but this can apply to your overall life as well, right? When you get to that point where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to give up, blah, 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 you can be grateful because that's when most people give up. That's when the people that don't succeed give up and leave and quit on something. The people that stick it out, the people that have fortitude, the people that have a real belief in knowing where something can go and stick with things through the ups, but also through the downs are the ones who are successful in life. Okay. Look, recently silver's done very well. Who knows where it could be a month or a year from now, but that happened for me with silver, and it's happened other times in life as well. The good thing about a hard time is it gets rid of a lot of your competition. A lot of people say, I can't do this. I can't, I can't do another live stream, Susie. It's too hard. Right? No, we don't quit. Here we are, Dusters, 500 people. Hey, that's awesome. I'm going to ring the golden gong for you in a few minutes. Yeah, the golden gong. Right. So keep up the great work, guys, because it is working and it will continue to work. Here we go. Here. Okay. Now, this is interesting. The other thing, I talked about this earlier, but it's so important, right? I know the bean price stinks. No doubt about it. All the cryptocurrency prices stink. Look at all of our cohorts, even the really great other great projects, right? Have let's say some red on their charts, right? But it's given good dusters, right? And I'm not telling people what to do. I'm not giving financial advice, but I can report the news. And here's 2 examples of people from our community who have been accumulating big amounts of UFD beans. They're in here, right? Right? Do you see them? Here, we'll leave this up here. They're in here, and their bean got bigger. Their piece of land on Unicorn Fart Dust Island, Fantasy Island, Deplane. You're probably too young to remember that. You can look it up on the internet. Fantasy Island. Anyway, their piece of land on our island, and our island can't get any bigger, right? Unicorn Fartland Island, right, is getting bigger and bigger. And eventually, I already did it, but we'll get to a point where hypothetically, quote unquote, we'll own a lot more of the beans than anybody else. This one came from our friend, the one and only Gino Savastano. Hello, Gino. He said, as the price of UFD plummets, Gino continues to rise up the ladder into the top 120 holders now. LFG, hashtag the rise of Savo. So congratulations, Gino. You're in, what'd you say, the top 100 holders? We love you, Gino. I met Gino in person. Gino, hold on. This is like, I'm going to get his profile up. Gino is an awesome guy and a one-of-a-kind guy. Gino is the epitome of being, and he played professional baseball at one point. See if I can get this picture up. Don't mess with that dude right there, okay? You mess with the unicorn, you get the Gino. We love Gino. He's the best. All right, next one. Let's go out here and take a look at this guy, Pacemaker. He puts this out yesterday. You all effed up when you let Pacemaker acquire 2 million beans. So congratulations, Pacemaker. That's not a picture of Pacemaker. That's, what was that guy's name? Magic Mike or something. He kind of went viral for a couple days, but Pacemaker is a wonderful guy. There's Scott Vernon, another wonderful, huge part of our community. Who else is on here? CT Dom. There's Pacemaker. Hey, there I am. Pacemaker. Guapo. Look at us, man. Look at this community. DJ Lydimus. Good job, DJ. But hey, congratulations to Pacemaker. Another one that I've met in person. Wonderful good man, wonderful guy, great father. I mean, we just have some of the best people in this community. Absolutely, no doubt about it. I want to take this. We got more to talk about, guys. Okay. Little mini shake for you in case you were sleeping. I would like to take this moment to say thank you to channel sponsor MoonPay. There's Moon Crush made by Rec Drinks, which is awesome. I can't keep my kids from drinking it all. Those cans are going to be empty soon, but they do a lot more than do collaborations with Rec Drinks. MoonPay is the entry door into crypto for millions and millions of people. They put out a cool post yesterday. Darn it, I wish I'd have known. I would have thought about it. I would pull it up for you, but they basically reported that on Friday during the massive market event that occurred when a lot of the other platforms were having technical issues, they reported like 100% perfect uptime. So congratulations to MoonPay, right? I mean, there's nothing like trying to buy or sell something during a period of much turmoil and not being able to execute a transaction. So great job. And it doesn't surprise me because MoonPay is proving itself again and again, right, to be a fintech leader. They're growing, they're innovating, and they're adding real value into the cryptocurrency world. They're bringing people and they're bringing money into the crypto world, right? That's a big deal. So thank you, MoonPay. And of course, I want to say thanks to our friends at Ledger, right? They are the crypto security leader. They secure over 20% of the world's cryptocurrencies. They secure my cryptocurrency. I love what Ledger's doing, right? They have a vision that we're going to hear more and more about for the future of digital asset ownership. So thank you to Ledger for being part of our journey, for the support that you give the channel to allow us to all get together. Thank you both, Ledger and MoonPay. Did we make it onto the Las Vegas sphere, or is this AI? You be the judge. Let's check this out. Hold on here. Wrong one. There's Magic Mike. And now, without further ado, you're looking at the Las Vegas Sphere, but this deserves full screen treatment. When I was in Vegas for the Bitcoin conference, that was basically the view from our room at the Venetian. It was really awesome. Okay, here we go. This is these are a couple dusters in a helicopter in Las Vegas.
Look at that. They changed it again. Now it says it's all just unicorn fart dust with the little emojis and everything. Vegas never runs out of. Look at that.
One more time.
They changed it again. Now it says it's all just unicorn fart dust with the little emojis and everything. Vegas never runs out of.
Okay, with the little emojis and everything. Thank you to the dusters that sent us that clip. Of course, thanks to Royal. Thanks to all of you guys that are out there making awesome short video content, AI generated stuff. It is funny. It is hilarious. It gives people out there in the community value. It gives people outside our community value because they see it, they laugh, right? And people, don't forget, people are willing to trade money for entertainment. So thank you. But there's an important message on the Las Vegas Sphere, okay? It's all just unicorn fart dust. I'm trying to figure out a way to communicate how powerful that statement is, because you can say it's all just unicorn fart dust from like a philosophical perspective, like everything is. Like, we don't know where we came from, we don't know where we're going, blah blah blah. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole too deep, but everything really is unicorn fart dust from that philosophical perspective. But from our project perspective, we can say it as well. It's all unicorn fart dust. You know, right? You know the lore of this project. 10 months ago, yeah, right? It's still 10 months ago today on the 12th of December, I would call crypto on a regular basis unicorn. I thank you, Susie. Thank you. We have 550 people. This is wild. Hey, guys, we're on a roll. This is good. But I would call crypto unicorn fart dust. So from a philosophical, life, deep thought perspective, with our long beards, everything's unicorn fart dust. But from a crypto perspective, it's all unicorn fart dust as well. Let me ring the gong, the golden gong, 3 times. Listen to it resonate. It's beautiful. One more time. Max resonation. I don't know what it is. I don't know why that does that, but it like rings after it rings. I think that's called resonation. I know one thing for sure, right? That is you. This project, this community, the value we create all hinges upon one thing. That's you, that's your heart, that's your determination, that's your willingness to contribute to what we're doing, which is a big, big thing. Guys, we are so different than everybody else. We are a community. We are a project that was built on community, but we are a project that's built on goodness, really, right? Honesty, transparency, integrity, prosperity, all those wonderful, wonderful things. It's not anything that we should take lightly, right? And again, don't forget, we have staked our claim, our individual claim on the blockchain. We are here forever. And it's our little gift that's been given to us, right? To me, this is like a gift, what we've been given, this opportunity. Boom, right here, right there on the blockchain. Unicorn fart dust, forever and ever, can never be done again, period. This, what's happening, take a step back, right? More of that philosophical, it's all just unicorn fart dust stuff. This can never, ever happen again. This moment that we are sharing right now can never happen again. The project that we have, the gift of the blockchain, the gift of a fair opportunity for us, right? And the fact that we are doing things so different. We aren't going to do things like other crypto projects. We'll do things like Bitcoin did. We'll do things like Ethereum did. Absolutely. But I'm not going to imitate what goes on in most of the other crypto meme coin sector. No way. Right? And all I did from day one, that's probably one of the biggest parts of the lore of this project was I treated people the way I wanted to be treated. And what I found is that attracted people who were going to treat me the way that I wanted to be treated and treat each other, right? Because remember, this is a flat, very flat organization, project, whatever it is. I am not sitting down here saying I'm CEO, right? You're not a stockholder. No, this is a flat organization where the biggest designation I have is the dev who put in 4 data fields to create this thing. All the community members are on equal footing. That includes me. Okay. I'm not making a salary. I don't get paid. There's no company. You're not a stock. No, we're a flat organization where everybody has the same opportunity. Let's continue, all right, to steadily, deliberately move forward, stay here, continue to stake our claim, continue to claim what's ours, continue, right, with our motto, with our mission, good attracts good, and that we want to prove that good and fair and an equal playing field can be successful in the crypto world. We want to be a leader, continue to be a leader. That's up to you. That's up to me. We're doing it right now. It's not hard. It's actually a much easier way to live, being honest and just, putting in some effort every day and having an opportunity to create something that could be quite historic in nature. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of this project. I appreciate you. Please be good to yourself today. I'll do my best. You do your best. Be good to ourselves. That'll give us a great platform from which to be good to other people. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.